Hi everybody, and welcome back to another CYT-Crypto news edition where we look at the stories that are making the headlines in the crypto world today. So before we go on, if you want to join us in the Telegram group, you can. There's a free Telegram group you can join below. The premium group is closed, but you'll get a notification in the free group when the premium group is going to reopen at the end of July, beginning of August, and you'll get first dibs on that, and plus you'll get a discount as well. So join us in the free group. We've got brilliant people in there kind of chatting 24/7, and it's just a brilliant bunch of people. There's no just talking about crypto in an intelligent way. So there's no slagging each other off or anything like that. So if you join us in the free group, that would be fantastic if you could do that. And also hit the like button if you like these videos, and subscribe to this channel as well. The channel is slowly growing, but it's growing. That's the main thing. Okay, on with the news. What's making the headlines today? We'll look at the market first, see what is going on just now. So we'll just refresh this and get an overall market capitalization. We've got a market capitalization of, say, around about $287 billion, with Bitcoin dominance going up slightly to 57.3%. Bitcoin as well is up to about 9,243. It's pulled back slightly. It was 9,300. Pulled back slightly. Winners and losers today: MaidSafe Coin, Digix DAO, Egregia, Dent, Nash Exchange. We spoke about that in the live this morning. Energy, Hedge Trade, Hypercash, VestChain, Bitcoin Gold. All up as well in greens, not by that much. We've got about 25% in the green, 75% in the red. In the red, the big ones are Grin, Ardor, Zilliqa, Inside Chain, Tezos, Komodo, Ravencoin, Elf, Crypto.com Chain, and Sol, all down as well. But as I said, not by huge margins, and a lot of these have kind of gone up in price big time. Okay, Bitcoin chart. Where are we with the Bitcoin chart? I was just looking at something with you just now. This is a Bitcoin chart on a 4 hourly. So at 9,230, we're still following the support line here. I showed you yesterday we're going up steeper, but I've kind of changed that and looked at the kind of this support line here, and it's still following the pattern of the J curve or the hockey stick. If we can zoom right in, I'll show you exactly what I mean. We'll go to the daily, and you can see here this purple line here. I'll just get rid of these for you. So this purple line here is what's happened to the Bitcoin price just now, and it looks as if it's going to extend. So this is a kind of current line supporting just now. This is a current support line just now with its trajectory. So if we go on that same trajectory just now, we should potentially hit 20,000, which is Bitcoin's all-time high, by the 5th of August 2019. If we could keep on going the way we're going just now with that potential support line, we could hit $20,000 by the 5th of August 2019. Something to think about. Definitely something to think about. Okay, what's making the headlines today? Binance have announced the new IEO, and it's Elrond. Elrond is slightly different this time as well, so you kind of have to pay attention here to the rules of this. So Elrond is going to be kind of coming out on the 1st or 2nd of July, and this is it's got the timeline here, and they're going to be doing the launch pad then as well. 3.2 billion tokens at a price of 0.0006 cents, which is 600ths of a cent. So you're going to be able to get them. Again, it's going to be $300 each for each lottery ticket. You can get up to 5 lottery tickets here. And we'll just go down and show you how this is going to work for the lottery tickets. And I'll give you more details on that in a second. First, we'll look at what actually Elrond is. And you can see with the latest IEOs that Binance has come out with, a lot of them are quite similar. They're looking at speed, they're looking at transactions, they're looking at sharding, they're looking at lots of different things like that. With the likes of Matic, One, Seller, a lot of them are kind of very similar, with the exception of Fetch and BTT, or Fetch AI. These are all kind of similar projects, and you've seen what happened with the other IEOs as well. So there's going to be 2 things at play here, and I'll kind of share this with you. But project overview: Elrond is a high-throughput public blockchain aimed at providing security, efficiency, scalability, and interoperability via adaptive state sharding and a secure proof-of-stake consensus mechanism. So Elrond is built by a team of entrepreneurs, engineers, and researchers with technical experience at Google, Microsoft, Intel, NTT, a PhD in computer science, and blockchain backgrounds, including being previously part of the NEM core team. So a lot of experienced people in there. And Elrond is currently in the testnet phase and aims to be a platform for easy deployment of programmable money and dApps, thus becoming the backbone of an open, permissionless borderless, globally accessible internet company. So sounds impressive. What does all that mean? So we're going to have to kind of dig into this more, and obviously more will come out about Elrond as well over the coming days. But that is kind of the overview of what it's doing. Now, the overview of what's going to be happening with regards to the lottery. I'll just show you here. The 1st of July, and here's the details of the lottery. So it's going to be run a bit differently this time. So what's going to happen from the 22nd of June, which is 2 days' time, from the 22nd of June up to the 1st of July, during this period, user BNB balances will be recorded at a random time each day over a 9-day period. So your final average daily BNB balance over these 9 days will determine the number of tickets that you will be able to claim. So on the 1st of July, ticket claim will open at this time for all eligible users for a 24-hour period. Users must also sign the token purchase agreement, which a lot of us have done already. Ticket claim closes on the 2nd of July and lottery draw begins. And winning tickets are announced on the 2nd of July as well. And the respective BNB will be deducted from the winning tickets. So here's how it is calculated. So they're going to have random snapshots this time. It's not going to be at a set time each day. It's going to be random. So what Binance are trying to do here is to get people to keep holding the Binance token, the BNB token. That's why they're doing it this way. So they want people to hold it all the time. So before, you could be in and out of Binance, trading in and just buy Binance before the cut-off date at midnight, whatever day it was. So you could have done that. So lottery ticket allocation. Users will be able to claim up to a maximum of 5 lottery tickets based on the daily average BNB holdings over the 9 days, represented by X below. So really, you need to have an average of 500 over the 9 days. So to get an average of 500 over 9 days, you really need to hold kind of 500 tokens and just hold them for 9 days. That's essentially what we're talking about here. So it'll be recorded at various random times throughout the day. So if you hold 500 tokens, BNB tokens, which is a lot of money, a lot of people won't be able to do that. But if you just hold it for the 9 days, which is what Binance are looking for you to do, and the Binance price will go up, the BNB price will go up because of that, you will be okay for 5 lottery tickets. Whether you win them or not is a different story altogether. So we need to see what happens this time. But I think it's worth going into for kind of money side of it. And you've seen what happened with Matic, kind of 10x, 12x almost as well. And then it'll still go live, presumably on the 2nd. Is it going to go live? Because they waited a couple of days for Matic to go out. So Matic will be a couple of days after that, start trading on Binance, I would imagine. And I think because of what's happening with the US investors kind of having to leave very soon, within a couple of months, I think this is going to be a big one as well. This is going to be possibly another last-ditch attempt. And there might be another IEO coming out as well. But this could be a last-ditch attempt for the US investors to make a lot of Bitcoin before they take their Bitcoin off the Binance.com site. So there's more details on that. I'll share links down below for all the details on this. Bigger than Russia, Bitcoin is now the 8th largest world currency. The 8th largest world currency. So the chart below, that was kind of posted on Twitter by Crypto Voices, you'll see that gold is still by far the largest monetary system in the world at almost $8 trillion. However, Bitcoin is hot on its heels. I wouldn't exactly say hot on its heels, but it's coming up. So when it comes to a country's monetary base, however, that's measured in terms of the total amount of currency in circulation or held in commercial deposits in a central bank, not in gold reserves. So USA does not, and we'll just kind of get a close-up of this. So it's gold first, but that's not a country, obviously. Japan, China, Eurozone nations, then the United States. So because of its $25 trillion debt, United States is kind of lagging in 4th place. And there we go down. We've got United Kingdom, Switzerland, India, Russia, and Bitcoin. Bitcoin are on a par with Russia. And not quite India, but it's on a par with Russia just now. So obviously you've not got Saudi Arabia there. You've not got kind of likes of Denmark or United Arab Emirates, because it's kind of pegged to something else, not pegged in kind of US dollars. It's pegged in either oil or something else. So imagine we've got Bitcoin at 0.2 trillion, which is 200 billion. So it's got a market cap of 162 billion just now, but if it does go up to 100,000, that's going to 10x where that goes. So we're going to be at, for Bitcoin, we're going to be at 2. So it'll put it in number 5, just behind United States. So if it goes up to 200k, it'll be above the United States, above the Eurozone nations, high on the heels of China and Bitcoin and Japan as well. And coming up for gold. That's where we're headed. It'd be nice to see this chart in about 5 years' time, exactly where it is. So, yeah, that was a kind of interesting story, I thought, and just exactly where Bitcoin is going. It's not going away. It's definitely not going away. It just keeps on eating into the currency of the minds of people just now throughout the world as well. So it's not going away. It's only going to get stronger. Central Bank of Russia will hold Bitcoin reserves, predicts analyst. So reportedly, Russian lawmakers, the State Duma, is expected to finalise a bill on digital financial assets within 2 weeks. They have already held discussions on the bill once and seem to have received positive votes from the House. Deputy Finance Minister of Russia, Alexei Musayev, said, "Now we're looking at the text of the bill on financial assets, and within 2 weeks I hope we will come out for the adoption in the second reading." So, and they're saying here that Russia, the Central Bank of Russia, will be holding BTC reserves within 2 years, mark my words. And that was from Matty Greenspan, the senior market analyst at eToro. I think a lot of countries are going to be doing this already. They're going to be taking Bitcoin out of circulation and holding them as a reserve, just in case. So think about that. This is kind of happening. There's more and more news kind of spilling out, eking out of the ecosystem just now, of the traditional kind of banks and sovereignty as well, that Bitcoin is going to be held. So it's going to make Bitcoin even more valuable in the future as well. Facebook may abort new crypto in India, will testify before Senate in the US. Now, this is all about Facebook LibreCoin, obviously, as the details that came out a couple of days ago, and that's all anybody is talking about. And you've already got the kind of no camp and the yes camp. I'm definitely in the kind of yes camp because I think it's going to be good for mass adoption, not because it's going to be good for Facebook, because they're not going to be anything to do with it. It's going to be a separate company altogether, and we've got to remember that as well. But I think it's going to be great for mass adoption. But it's been getting so much stick just now. The US Congress, it's just been released kind of a couple of days ago. I would imagine the US Congress will have known about it beforehand. But the US Congress are pulling them up before the US Senate and everything like that. They're just going to be, this kind of tells us again that they're not afraid of Facebook. They're not afraid of Mark Zuckerberg. They're afraid of what he's actually proposing, which is LibreCoin and what it can do for the rest of the world. Essentially, you can do away with banks. This is kind of what Mark Zuckerberg is saying, if you read the white paper and kind of his ethos behind it as well. So essentially, that's what they're trying to do here. So it's got the government running scared. Russia has come out as well and said they're not going to support it. It's just caused a furore in kind of the whole of kind of not only crypto space, but in the kind of business world as well. So we'll have more details out, and no doubt we'll be talking about this for months and months to come until it actually comes out. And I'm going to say until it comes out, I don't think it's going to be an if, I think it's going to be a when. I don't think they can stop it. How? I don't understand how they think they can stop it as well, the governments. So we need to wait and see how this story unfolds with that as well. Now, I was looking at this as well, really interested in this story, and thank you goes to Rob and Deb for kind of posting the news stories in our news group. We collectively kind of bring news stories together, and I kind of share them with you today. So big shout out to our brilliant admins, Rob and Deb, who kind of shared the stories for today. We've got James and Mike and kind of share some of them, and some of the premium members share stories as well. But today is Rob and Deb, so thank you, a big huge thank you as always to you. And obviously I kind of pick out stories as well. So token. I don't know if you know about this, if you've heard about this. I'm really interested in what the venture capitalists are looking to invest in, or currently invest in just now. So when I kind of look on Crunchbase and look at the likes of Token, and if we go to Crunchbase just now, yeah. So this is Token. If you go to Crunchbase, you can do this for free. You go to Crunchbase, you can see Token creates bank-hosted payment systems specifically designed for the digital era. Now, what comes up immediately when you think about this, when it says Token creates bank-hosted payment systems specifically designed for the digital era, and you go XRP, what's going on. And you can see when we come down here, there's been a lot of investors for this. It's already gathered on a Series A funding. It's already got $35 million worth of funding. And you've got Octopus Ventures, Opera Tech Ventures, EQT Ventures, Plug and Play as well, and OP Financial Group in a Series A round. But they're going to have a Series B token. Yeah, Series B as well. Have details here as well. So I wasn't going to share this with you. Then I thought, oh, this is kind of playing itself up to be something of an XRP. But we'll need to kind of wait and see kind of what transpires here. But Token, a San Francisco and London-based open banking platform, raises $60.5 million in funding from prominent tech funds, including Opera Tech Ventures, the venture arm of BNP Paribas, Octopus Ventures and EQT Ventures, according to an announcement on Tuesday. This strategic round of funding comes on the heels of the company's partnership with MasterCard. Token is working to develop a connectivity layer for the legacy payment processors open banking hub that will help third parties establish and maintain communication with banks for data and or payment, said Token representative Erin Lovett. And the partnership represents the first movement in open banking by a large infrastructure provider. Now, I know we've had a lot of these, oh, this is the next XRP killer and stuff like that. This looks to be really good. And when I get interested is when the VCs get interested, that's when I get interested as well. Because obviously they do a deep dive on this as well. So this is why we have to look at things like this as well. Now, do I believe there can be more than one player in this kind of sector? Yes, I do. In the remittance sector, and yes, there's going to be as well. So is this going to be another one? It's going to be kind of like a side chain kind of what XRP is doing as well. We'll need to wait and see kind of how it plays out. But interesting nonetheless, and I'll post this link for you as well. But if you go to Crunchbase as well, check out crunchbase.com. That's a good website to kind of check out. Josh Rager, I've come to respect him, Josh, over the kind of last, certainly a couple of weeks, as I've been reading more and more on Twitter. I don't really go on Twitter that much, but over the last couple of weeks I have been reading more and more. And this guy seems, he really knows his stuff and he kind of talks sense all the time. So he's got today Bitcoin is down around 53% from the all-time high, but Ethereum is down around 83% from the all-time high and could likely go lower as ETH BTC doesn't look great. For Ethereum to catch up to where BTC percentage currently is, the price would have to hit $750. So you could argue that there's more room to grow for Ethereum here. This was my first thought. There's more room to grow for it to get to $750. So just have a quick look at the Ethereum chart, the Ethereum BTC, and see what it's looking like just now. And we'll put these back on. I like to look at the EMAs here. So it doesn't look good on the daily. It doesn't look good for Ethereum at the moment. Neither on the 4 hourly. And that's really the ones I would trade for longer term. And even on the hourly, it should have been sold at 3.1 million Satoshi. And it's currently 2.8 million Satoshi just now. So you would have saved yourself a further drop of 8% if you got out then. That's even on the hourly. On the daily, yeah, you would have got the same, 3.1 million. So it doesn't look good for Ethereum at the moment. However, in my mind, there's more scope for growth here for Ethereum. And I like Ethereum for the future as well. And this is from ACatSpit, and this is on Twitter as well. Practically nobody that I know knows Bitcoin is at 9,300. Everyone still thinks it's going to zero or at an all-time low. This makes me believe there is no there's no new blood entering, just old money adding to their stacks. They'll all buy over 20k at new all-time highs, pump it. So, again, this gets you thinking. These kind of tweets get me thinking and just think, okay, what's happening here? I was at the doctor's today, actually, getting bloods taken. We got around to talking about Bitcoin. And she didn't actually know about the kind of Bitcoin price, what it was at. And she'd heard about it, she knows about it, but doesn't know that much. But she said a 15-year-old son was urging her to get into it and talking about it as well. So it seems to be the Generation Z are getting into it, and there's going to be them that's coming in with the new blood into the market. But what's going to happen is it's going to hit mainstream news when it gets to the all-time high on the 5th of August. When it gets to the all-time high on the 5th of August, that's when people will start entering. But the institutions have been in there already, and you're going to get the retail investors coming in, and it's going to push it up even more past the all-time high, which is 20k. Then it's going to go 30k, then 40k. They'll come down to 30k. Then it'll be doomed all over again. Then it'll go back up to 50k. It's just the same cycle over and over. And people that have been in this game for a couple of years know that cycle. It's a pain in the arse. Yes, it is. Unless you're kind of shorting and going long as well. But this kind of got me thinking again about this. So I think it's inevitable that Bitcoin is going to zoom past its all-time high very, very soon. Will it be this year? Yes, I think there's no question this year it's going to hit its all-time high. Will it be the 5th of August like I showed you earlier on? Honestly, don't know. BTC USD will go to, so the 5th of August, and we'll just keep on doing that J-curve and hit that all-time high round about the beginning of August. So it will be interesting to see what happens over the coming months and years as well. But as ever, be careful out there, and I will see you next time. Until then, namaste. Take care. Bye now.